Hi everyone, it's Evangeline here at etrailer, and today we're looking at our Hollywood Rack's Destination 2 bike rack here on our 2017 Mazda 3. So the Hollywood Rack's Destination bike rack is a really good bike rack if you're looking for something that is a platform rack without being too expensive. So this is a good affordable bike rack which creates a platform, making for a nice sturdy platform for your bikes, making for a smoother ride for your bikes as you bring them to your next adventure. So let's take a look at the way our bike is mounted to our bike rack. We have 2 wheel straps holding our wheels in, and then we have this frame mount. So this frame mount goes around our bike's frame and secures it. This has a unique 360-degree rotation, meaning that you can move it side to side, up and down, as well as around, depending on your bike's frame, size, shape. It fits a variety of bikes. Now with it also mounted up here, you can see how you still have a decent amount of view out of your rear window. And this does kind of cover, depending on how your bikes are built, it will slightly cover your taillights, but it's still a really nice way to carry around your bike, especially with how low it is. I do like how you get that view. Now when you take your bike off, you start with the wheel straps. So to do so, you just press that lever, and then you lift up on the straps and just rotate them towards the side. That way they don't get tangled up in your spokes when you take your bike off. So do one strap, then do the second strap, and then come over here to your frame mount. Now you're gonna have to figure out the best way to hold on to your bike as you release it from the frame mount. So I'm supporting it with my arm as I press that lever, and I pull that strap out. Then I leave it to the side as much as I can get it. And from here, you just need to tilt your bike slightly forward, then go over that short mast, and then you're ready to go on a bike ride. And with the bike out of the way, we get to take a closer look here at our cradles as well as at our straps. So here we have these cradles that we've started to call wings here at etrailer because of the way they are shaped, just to accommodate different wheelbases. You also have this strap. So this strap has a rubber cushion here on the inside, so just move that so it sits above your bike's frame. That way as you ratchet down that strap, you get to help secure it with this cushion as well as protect it from extra scuffs and scratches during your journey. Come over here to the front and do the exact same thing on the other side. Now, I highly recommend putting away those straps even when you're not carrying around any bikes. That way they're not flopping around as you drive around. One special thing about this bike rack with this vehicle is that even with the mast up, you can see how we still have access or space to open up our hatch, allowing us to get into our trunk, maybe grab our bags, our helmets, our water, without having to move this bike rack down. Now you will still have to take your bike off, but this still makes it a little extra convenient, meaning you can get back onto the trail a little bit faster. But when you do want to take this and go for a ride and just put this mast down, what you can do is you can rotate this knob right over here, because this is what's going to be holding that anchor up. So if you just loosen it enough to take the anchor up and to the side, and don't forget to tighten it back down, you can then rotate or move this mast down to a secure position. So what I like to do is I actually like to use the wheel straps, because those go around the mast and then they secure it right over there. There we go. So with that in place, as well as our frame strap secured, you can see that it's a little bit more portable. With that mast down, you would get a little bit more view here behind you. Now there is going to be some length added to the back of your vehicle, so we'll take some measurements just to see exactly how much. So measuring from our rear bumper on our Mazda 3 to the end of the bike rack, right where those plastic reflectors are, it sits at 25¼ inches. That's actually really compact for a 2-bike platform rack, but still going to be a length you're going to have to think about whenever you're backing into your garage or trying to park into a tight spot. Your Mazda 3 is kind of on the compact end of vehicles, so it's also nice to have a compact bike rack to match it. Now, let's also take a look at ground clearance. So we do have kind of this wingspan on the bike rack. So measuring from the middle of the bike rack, it sits at 18½ inches above the ground. Measuring at the end of the wings, it sits at 13½ inches. And then measuring over here by the shank, it sits at 9¼ inches when it comes to ground clearance. So ground clearance is going to be important whenever you go up steep inclines like driveways or hills, since your car does sit a little bit closer to the ground compared to, your larger sedans or your trucks. You're going to appreciate how it has that 9-inch shank rise, because then your bikes are sitting a little bit higher up. Okay, but when you want to fold the bike rack up, this is what you need to do. So you pull this pin out, or this clip out, and then you just rotate this knob to take out this bolt. And then just let it hang right over there as you lift up on the bike rack. Line up those holes and put that bolt right back in. So that's actually a really quick and simple process. I do like how they have a knob on the bolt, making it a little bit easier and a bit of a tool-free process. So let's just put that clip right back into place. There you go. And then let's take some measurements again. So measuring from our bumper to the furthest point on the bike rack, which is going to be the end of the mast, it sits at 12 inches away from your vehicle. So this is going to be the position you're going to have it in when you just want to drive around town. You're not planning on taking your bikes out for a ride, but you also don't want to go through the hassle of taking your bike rack off. With it folded up like this, notice how our rear window is completely visible, as are our tail lights. Our license plate sits above the bike rack, as does our backup camera, meaning everything is visible as well as legal on the road. Let's talk about how this fits into our hitch. So this is a really light bike rack, and it fits into our Class 1 hitch here on our Mazda 3, so that's 1¼ inch hitch receiver. So then we also have our etrailer hitch pin alignment collar. That way, if I do need to take this bike rack off and put it back on really quickly, I don't have to keep looking back and forth to see if the holes line up. This just helps out with that process. This also has an anti-rattle bolt and a lock. Now that anti-rattle bolt comes with a wrench in order to tighten it down, but I recommend using a wrench with a 3/4 socket, kind of like what I do, just because it's a lot faster that way and it's a lot easier. But with that anti-rattle bolt tightened down, you can see as I shake our bike rack, I'm trying to shake the vehicle here, but that's secure. That fit is tight and secure, meaning that as you go over those bumps, as you go over those holes, there's not going to be extra rattle caused by an improper fit between your bike rack and your vehicle, making for a smoother ride for your bikes overall. Okay, so my final thoughts about this bike rack is that this is a really light bike rack. This is one of the few platform racks that I can install all by myself. I can even carry it with one hand. So if you're worried about looking for something that's compact, lightweight, easy to carry around, this might be a good solution for that. Also, if you're looking for an affordable bike rack that creates a platform for your bikes, so something a bit more sturdy compared to a hanging style rack, you might be interested in the Hollywood Racks destination. Now, this does not tilt away, so if you do want access to your hatch, you will have to take your bikes off, so just keep that in mind. So that was a look at the Hollywood Racks destination bike rack for 2 bikes here on our 2017 Mazda 3.